About 3 months ago, Roblox events made a comeback with the announcement of The Hunt, which was supposed to be a comeback for Roblox egg hunts. The Hunt, in turn, was supposed to serve as a comeback for Roblox's disconnected relationship with the community, so you may be wondering, how did it do in those regards? Yeah, it did pretty terrible. Low effort quests, overpriced items, and the exclusivity of eggs seen in previous hunts led to a confusing mess of an event. Following the failure of the hunt, Roblox had to come up with an event that would reconcile their conflict with the community. And luckily for them, they didn't need to think too hard for this one. If you ask any Roblox player, old or new, what era of Roblox was the best, almost all would respond with the classic era. It's a phenomenon that's hard to describe. Whether the long for this era stems from nostalgia, the games, or simplicity, everyone just wants a piece of old Roblox. Due to this, it's no surprise that the first thing that Roblox thought of when thinking of ways to please the community was to bring back classic Roblox. And so on May 10th, Roblox quote tweeted a post asking people if they would bring back old Roblox or keep the current Roblox, to which Roblox captioned the post, "Soon, you won't have to choose." It wouldn't take long for this post to gain traction, clearing over 1 million views in the same day, and already, the prospect of classic Roblox returning had generated more hype than the hunt ever had. People were already speculating a classic Roblox comeback, and 4 days later on May 14th, everyone's speculations became a reality when Roblox announced May 23rd as the date when everything would go classic. The video they used to announce the event featured classic Roblox items bouncing off the corners of the video, with the classic Roblox song The Great Strategy playing in the background. This video was an easy crowd pleaser, but on the same day this teaser dropped, some of the games involved in this event were revealed. Unfortunately, this reveal would be a large turnoff for many. To be specific, the inclusion of toilet tower defense was enough to have people predict that this event was going to bomb. But besides TTD, more games were revealed to be in this event, with people being quick to realize that most of the games in it weren't even 5 years old. The oldest game in this event was Arsenal, created in 2015, with games like Dress to Impress and A Dusty Trip only being created a few months ago. So in terms of OG games like Natural Disaster Survival or Work at a Pizza Place being in this event, Roblox couldn't deliver, but let's not be too grim as we'll see what the games had to offer soon. On May 17th, Roblox would give this unnamed event a name, The Classic, and another teaser featuring Jane and John Doe. The teaser featured the two walking throughout the Hunt hub, with the video transitioning back and forth between the Hunt and Classic hubs. This would also be a turnoff. We all know how the hunt did critically, and since this video indicated similarities between the two, the community was very suspicious when it came to this teaser. This wasn't Roblox's intention, however, and the video was made to signify the comeback of Roblox's events. But still, Roblox couldn't rub people the wrong way again, otherwise this event was doomed to fail. The next day, Roblox announced the first two items affiliated with the classic, the Treasure Finder bundle and the Timeless Valkyrie. In my video on the hunt, I talked about how overpriced some of the items relating to the event were, such as the Vault Sword Pack and the Vault Commando. Judging by this bundle and the Timeless Valkyrie, it doesn't seem like Roblox learned from their mistakes, seeing as both cost a whopping 19,000 Robux each. You could say this was expected, and luckily, some UGC creators backed up the community with a near identical replica of the Timeless Valk for a mere 75 Robux. In fact, people weren't even that mad about the prices, with the teasers once again getting hate. The promotional teaser for the two items looks normal, however, if you pay close attention, you notice how the shading is a bit goofy on the characters. This was pointed out in the replies to Roblox's tweet, which also could have rubbed people the wrong way about this event. Nevertheless, some people held out until the event actually started to give their final verdict, and on May 20th, an official event page was created for the classic. Judging by the replies of the announcement for the page, people's bad faith towards Roblox had mainly ceased, and people were ready to start having fun doing this event. The event kicked off on May 23rd, a Thursday, with the Roblox user base going off to determine the legacy of this event. Compared to the hunt, the classic event was far less saturated, featuring 15 games compared to the 100 in the former, but the rewards of the two remained nearly indifferent. Completing given tasks in the event's 15 games would give you two currencies, Tix and Roblox tokens. Tix would allow you to buy items used exclusively in the classic hub, such as the rocket launcher and Super Ball. It also allowed you to fill up this Tix counter, but we'll get to that later. Roblox tokens would allow you to unlock exclusive avatar items similar to Roblox accessories back in the day. Like the hunt, the classic featured 8 unlockable, free avatar items, allowing you to buy a pass or track to unlock even more exclusive items. The track for the classic event was called the Bling track and cost 600 Robux, 25% less than the 800 Robux gold track. However, the Bling track would only allow you to achieve 4 more avatar items, just the standard rewards retextured gold with no modifications. Still, it seems like a great deal that you only had to complete tasks in 15 games compared to 100 for slightly fewer rewards. This makes a great segue into the next part of the classic, the quests. Some of the game's quests, such as a Dusty Trips, were fairly easy, with all you had to do was drive 10,000 meters and then defeat a boss, taking around a half hour. Others not so much, leading to one of the biggest complaints about the classic, also the quests. We'll talk about that in exactly 61 seconds though. One of the things that I find great about the classic is how many games and or quests you can skip out while still unlocking every limited edition avatar item. Doing the math, if you completed the classic in its entirety, completing every assignment in the hub and the games, you would receive 165 ticks and 85 tokens. In my The Hunt video, I mentioned that you had to complete 95 out of the 100 games to unlock every item. However, to unlock every item in the classic, both for the event hub and for your avatar, you would need 74 ticks and 36 tokens respectively. That means less than half of the games and quests had to be completed to unlock everything, a significant step up from the hunt. But still, people were going to complete the entirety of the event for the fun of it, and most of the people who did had a lot to say about it. And they weren't very happy. These people, mainly older users, were already coming into the event with low hopes due to the exclusion of actual classic Roblox games. Their hopes would sink even lower when it came to playing some of the games in the classic and completing tasks. As mentioned previously, some tasks weren't even that hard, but when it came to games like Blade Ball or Adopt Me, people came out of these games calling the event ruined. For most, this quest took around a few hours, with you being forced to move at the pace that the pet tasks came in. Just like Adopt Me, games with the longest tasks tended to be very repetitive, such as Blade Ball, where you were given 5 sets of quests, with each new set being more difficult than the last. Similar themes were echoed throughout Livetopia, where you would shop 15 times repetitively, or Bed Wars, where you would have to play an extremely hard round of penguin survival. This led to accusations of premium payout farming being thrown at these games, as people noticed that the repetitiveness of the games was getting repetitive. This isn't the first time Roblox games and events have been called out for their lack of intricacy, as games like Pet Simulator X and The Hunt offered a laughably simple task with no effort put into it beforehand. Except this time, it appeared that even more games were following the trend of being low effort, and people expected things to improve, even more so following the failure of The Hunt. And so while the classic featured games that went above and beyond in their experiences, such as Arsenal and Tower Defense Simulator, their performances were drowned out by the mediocrity of their peers. It's truly unfortunate how the biggest part of the classic kind of sucked, but hopefully the exclusive items in this event can be the classic's saving grace. Unlike the games in the classic, which featured no improvement and maybe even a downgrade from the hunt, the exclusive avatar items as well as the hub items pulled through this time. One glance at the event items will tell you everything you need to know. Roblox was trying to replicate the look of classic avatar items. It's obvious, really, but Roblox hit the nail on the head when replicating the design of classic avatar items, while also making these items easy to achieve as we went over earlier. Items like the Kleos Erebus and the agonizingly happy bucket are both references to the popular Kleos and Bucket series respectively. This is great and all, but we're also focusing on some of the limited edition avatar items that went for sale during the classic. In the hunt, Roblox had a bit of a conflict with the community over these items, mainly due to the lack of thought behind them as well as the egregious price tag. This time, it appears Roblox learned from their mistakes, as the first 4 limited edition items they've put out cost less than 500 Robux. Just like the collectible items, these items are based on Roblox items that were created around 15 or so years ago. Then there were these 3 other items that were obtainable through Roblox Star creators and event developers. Every single Roblox YouTuber in the Star program was given a Pi launcher, and if you were Pi'd, you would receive a Star Creator Pi. Roblox admins were given cake launchers, and if you picked up a cake, you would get the staff birthday cake hat. The classic developer slice was similar to the staff birthday cake hat, but it was only obtainable if it was launched at you by a developer of the event under Twin Atlas. This item would become controversial, but we're not there yet. Roblox came through when it came to the avatar items, but since these items weren't the biggest part of the event, it couldn't save the event entirely. Now that we've covered almost everything that has to do with the classic, we'll move on to the reception. When the event dropped, Roblox YouTubers went off and played the event to give their verdict, with KreekCraft doing a 12-hour stream completing the event in full. He gave his verdict on Twitter not long after, coming out and saying that it was better than the Hunt. That didn't mean he wouldn't give any criticism, with Creek calling out games like Blade Bowl and Livetopia for their repetitiveness. I asked Schlepp, who I featured in my last video, to weigh in on the event, and needless to say, he wasn't very enthusiastic. Sentiments were echoed throughout the community of how this event, while still bad, was better than the Hunt. Just like with the Hunt, I polled what people thought of this event, and so did many other YouTubers like Creekcraft and CowCow, with people once again deeming this event as okay. However, just as verdicts were piling in, event developers did something stupid that Roblox never expected. Dhammapada was one of the developers of the classic under Twin Atlas, and as such, was given the ability to launch cake slices using the cake launcher. Another seemingly unrelated Roblox fact is that you need to have 10,000 followers to get verified on Roblox. Dhammapada was on the cusp of achieving this milestone, and on May 8th, he exclaimed that he was 200 off the mark and asked Twitter if there was a method to get more Roblox followers. Shortly after, he was given a cake launcher as he helped partake in developing the classic. The developer cake slice is by far one of the rarest items in the classic, seeing as you have to manage to join the game of one of the developers and have it launched at you to achieve it. Dom, realizing how his wants coupled with the community's wants, would create a game along with 4 other developers, promising cake slices if people followed them. However, this would turn out to be a scam. It was speculated that these developers would teleport people into this game from the classic hub to maximize follower growth, with their game having over 300 players at its peak. Their scheme only lasted around an hour, I would assume, before a Roblox admin joined and shut down the experience. The 5 developers had their cake launchers confiscated as punishment and nothing else, even though what they did was clearly against Roblox's terms of service. It's good that Roblox tried to shut their operation down as quickly as they could, however, they could have been a bit more harsh on the developers. I guess Dom got the 10,000 followers he wanted. This didn't help Roblox's reputation, however, I think they handled the situation pretty well, besides the punishment part. However, the way Roblox ended the classic did hurt the event a lot, and it was definitely their fault. If you've spent any amount of time learning about Roblox hackers, you've probably heard the myth of 1 by 1 by 1 by 1. 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 was a Roblox account created by Shedletsky in April 2010, with false rumors spreading that the account belonged to a hacker, mainly through TikTok. Due to its infamy, it's unsurprising that they would become the antagonist of the classic, with the hacker getting appearances in games like Arsenal and Tower Defense Simulator. Roblox would pitch in as well, and after the Tix machine became full and broke, 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 became a boss that you could defeat by accessing their secret lair, with the duck statue opening to reveal the area. After you beat 1 by 1 by 1 by 1, you'd receive the amazing prize of post-credits. Adding insult to injury, when this boss fight dropped, Roblox dropped their 5th and last limited item, a sword called the Damon Shank. This item was inspired by the Venom Shank and cost a whopping 39,999 Robux. Adding even more insult, this boss fight had supposedly been something Roblox had planned years before the event occurred, so for it to turn out this way was a huge disappointment. Even Creekcraft, who is usually positive about all things Roblox, couldn't deny that the ending was a bit disappointing. Also, a big thank you to Creek for weighing in and responding to my DM, it means a lot. The classic ended on May 28th, with people being left with the same sense of dissatisfaction they had when the Hunt ended. While the event wasn't good, people seemed to think that it was better than the Hunt, except for a select few, which means that Roblox's next event could be half decent. The third time's the charm, after all, but that's just speculation. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you enjoyed this video or any others, and leave a comment below on what you thought of the classic.